SCP-086. Object Class Safe. Euclid. Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-086 is contained within Office A-19, a Bioresearch Station 71. The secretarial post outside the door is to be staffed by one armed guard. All components of SCP-086 are to be kept within 6 meters of each other. SCP-0861 is to be kept on the office desk, with a single connection to the telephone at the secretary's post. All communications between SCP-086 and personnel are to be recorded, transcribed, and archived. Every 6 days, SCP-0862 is to be used to sharpen 4 standard commercially purchased 16cm HB pencils, containing until at least 95% of the mass of each pencil has been converted into pencil shavings. SCP-0862 is not to be emptied, even if personnel judge that it has become clogged. In such an eventuality, personnel are to wait 10 minutes and then resume sharpening. Every 7 days, SCP-0863 is to be filled with a block of 200 standard commercially purchased staples. Every 20 days, SCP-0864 is to be filled with 15 sheets of standard commercially purchased microfilm, blank cellulose, a site film, produced on site. SCP-0865 is to be drained of waste matter whenever it fills more than halfway. The waste matter is to be incinerated. All reading materials requested by SCP-086 must be approved by Site Command. All research proposals made by SCP-086 must be approved by 205 level personnel. Description: SCP-086 is a collective sessile organism whose component parts resemble items of an office equipment from 1978, and which contains a conscience claiming to that of former Foundation Administrator, Dr. 1907-1978. Its 8 components are a rotary telephone, a wall-mounted pencil sharpener, a desk stapler, a microfiche reader, a water cooler, a filing cabinet, a scientific calculator, and a slide rule. No physical connection or electromagnetic transmission between any of these components has been detected. Each component of SCP-086 is composed of biological material, contained within a carapace made of varying amounts of chitin, keratin, and calcium carbonate, as well as trace amounts of nylon, rayon, and polyester. DNA analysis reveals that the tissue contained within SCP-086 are partially of human origin, and SCP-0861 contains a large mass of neural tissue which functions as a brain, despite several conformational and anatomical irregularities. This brain hosts the majority of SCP-086's consciousness. 0861 also contains an ear equivalent in the receiver's mouthpiece, allowing SCP-086 to hear. SCP-086 is able to speak in the exact match of Dr. voice and accent through the earpiece, although radiological and ultrasound examination have not revealed any lonegral structures. SCP-086-1 is also capable of ringing. However, SCP-086 has stated that ringing gives it a headache. Consequently, the only circumstance under which it rings are when awaking from sleep, at which point it rings twice in rapid succession, and when in distress, which point it rings SOS in Morse code. SCP-0862, 3, and 4 function as food intake organs. SCP-0862 consumes pencil shavings. SCP-0863 consumes staples. And SCP-0864 consumes microfilm. SCP-065 functions as a combination bladder and bowel equivalent, storing metabolic wastes. SCP-086 contains several organs which appear to combine sensory and manipulatory functions. SCP-086 has proven capable of reading printed material and physically manipulating small items. For instance, turning pages and alphabeticizing documents. When they are replaced with an SCP-086 at SCP-086 request, It is regularly provided with non-classified reading material and non-classified clerical work. The biological functions of SCP-086-7 and 8 have not yet been determined. However, SCP-086 has stated that it experiences significant discomfort and confusion when they are removed from its vicinity, and it is therefore speculated that they have some role in cognition. Although SCP-067 accepts input, its output seems to be random glyphs of LED noise. SCP-086 has demonstrated that it has full access to Dr. memories, and all tests indicate a 100% match with pre-existing psychological profiles of Dr. However, SCP-086 has pointed out that there is no way to confirm that it actually thinks itself as Dr. and that it may be an alien intelligence expertly posing as Dr. or a sleeper persona which sincerely believes itself to be Dr. SCP-086 is presumed to have been created on June 12, 1978, when Dr. was presumed killed by the PN class, events resulting from the decommissioning of SCP. On June 20th, 1978, Dr. was being emptied by maintenance personnel so that it could be assigned to his successor. At this point, SCP-061 began ringing repeatedly, despite not being connected to a telephone jack. Maintenance personnel noticed Level 3 operatives who answered SCP-061. During the subsequent conversation, SCP-086 identified itself as Dr. and then ordered Level 3 personnel to revoke its security clearance and to make a full report of its existence and properties to 05 level personnel. Dr. was given as Prosmophis commendation for meritorious conduct in either reporting himself as an SCP or in influencing an anomalous entity emulating his behavior into doing so. Note: SCP-086 was originally classified as safe, but it is stated that because it is a sapient entity, which anomalously biological in metabolism, with access to the full memories of SCP Foundation administrator, who previously had level 4 security clearance, it should be classified to Euclid. Note: although we appreciate SCP-086's consentaneous, there is at this point no pressing reason to clarify it as a Euclid. If circumstances change, we'll reconsider. 05.